Welcome everyone. So I hope you guys have spent a considerable amount of time practicing on PowerPoint. Sadly, I do not see anybody posting any questions, neither on Word training or PowerPoint training. So, but I'm sincerely hoping that you guys are watching these sessions. So you can post your questions and queries on the comment section so that I can go back and take a look and help you. So we're talking about the second semester of foundation courses. So this is foundation course number 3 that we are referring to. Semester 2 is what we're talking about. The unit 3 we already finished. Unit 3 was MS Word, and now we are talking about unit 4, which is PowerPoint. We started this on Saturday. All right. So just for a quick recap as to what we will see in terms of the course index for PowerPoint. So we'll learn about the features and how to create a blank presentation, how can we use a template, inserting and deleting slides in a presentation, adding clip art pictures, inserting other objects, audio, video, resizing and scaling of object. I will talk about this, slide transition, custom animation. I gave you an example of custom animation. I will do this in detail. All right, let's move forward. So the learning path will talk about the features and how to create a presentation. It could be a blank slide or it could be a template. This has already been done. Add and edit text. This is what we are talking about. I did a bit of smart art and hyperlink. I will do that later because we need to have a complete file in order to do hyperlink. Add and format images, how we can use an image from Google or any other search site and we can add it. How can you add a screenshot? So I'll talk about that as well. Format image. Then we'll talk about the designing of presentations, where we'll talk about the theme. How do we group objects? I will tell you why it's important that you need to group objects and how to do that. Header and footer, alignment a bit I have done. Usage of the slideshow and presenter view, how to add a media in terms of audio or video, the tables, the formats, and custom animation. Okay, we looked at a brief about MS PowerPoint. So this is basically an office tool. It's a complete presentation graphics package. It gives you everything you need to produce a professional looking presentation, and it offers word processing. Word processing basically means you can write texts, outlining, drawing, graphing, and presentation management tools, all designed to be easy to use and learn. So these are extremely user friendly. So when you create a presentation using PowerPoint, the presentation is made up of series of slides. Like I told you, multiple slides make into one presentation. Each presentation is one file. That slides that you create using PowerPoint can also be presented as overhead transparencies or 35 mm slides. In addition, you can print audience handouts, outlines, speaker notes. You can format your entire presentation into this, and you can make a standard design. I'll tell you how to use Slide Master. You can keep your entire presentation in single file, all your slides, speaker notes, and handouts. You can import what you have created in other tools like Office Office such as Word and Excel. So I'll talk about all these in detail. I had shown you the structure of a blank presentation. On the left side you have the slide preview where you can see what you have created. On top you have the toolbars, then the text area in between, and the speaker note which can be written in the bottom. Speaker note is basically the presenter's note. I had shown you these toolbars, various function, how to open PowerPoint. You can either click on start button and open PowerPoint, or just type PowerPoint, and you can create a blank presentation. All right. Now I have already opened a blank presentation here. I had shown you how you can, so when you open a blank presentation, I use this guide, these plus sign that can be moved if you want. Okay, so basically I use it for perfect alignment of various objects or text that I'm going to use. Okay, Now let's begin. So my first slide, when I open, it says click to add title. This will always be called as a title slide. Now the point to be noted here is there are certain presentations where you need to add a logo of the company, whichever company you're working in. For example, if you're working for a project, you have a team and your team has its own logo. You want that logo to be there on the initial slide. So how do we put a logo? All right. Say for example, take any company for that matter. Let's go to google.com and then look for look for a particular logo. Say I want to use Xbox 360. Okay. So click on images. So you see logo. So let's pick one of the logo. All right. Now when you're looking for the logo, you should always ensure that it does not have any kind of watermark. I will tell you how to avoid pictures with watermark. You should not be using any image which has a watermark because there could be a copyright problem later. So never use any picture which already has a watermark. So we have this Xbox 360 logo. So you should right click and say save image as. So I'm saving it on my desktop. So I saved it as a file. What I can alternatively do is right click and say copy image. Okay, right click, copy image. Sometimes when you try to do this, it doesn't work. Okay, so it's good to save the JPEG file. So come to the PowerPoint and say Control V, or you can say paste. Now this entire logo is here. But is the alignment correct? No, the alignment is absolutely pathetic. It's not even looking perfect because it should be a small portion of the entire slide. So what do? I reduce the size of the logo. Okay, let me zoom it. Now your logo should not take too much space. So I want to reduce it. I hope this is visible. You see this in the bottom. Your logo should either be on left bottom or right bottom or left top left or top right. So let me keep it on top right and the alignment has to look perfect. Okay. So when I go on slideshow mode, now how do I see slideshow mode? In the bottom right now this particular icon is activated. I can also click here and make it look like this. I can keep on adding multiple slide or I can go to slideshow mode. Now when I go to slideshow mode, you will see this particular logo here. Alright. Now what if I want this logo to be there on every slide? All I need to do is go to view and go to slide master. So before that, let me copy this, Control C. Slide master basically means my title, the main slide. So if I put something here, ideally every slide should carry that particular that particular image. Okay, so I'm going to normal view now. So when I say next, it's not showing up because I need to save the file. So that's how you can add a logo on the master slide itself. So when you're going to the next slide or when you create a next slide, automatically it will pick up. Okay. Now this is my title slide, so I need to add a title. Say for example, I am preparing a presentation on let's pick a topic which everybody can relate to, regardless you are from arts background or commerce background or science background. This foundation course is relevant to students from all the streams, right? So let's pick a topic where it's going to be helpful and relevant. So we are going to prepare a presentation on a very generic and common topic. We will use the topic where we need to capture a lot of screenshots, we need to capture a lot of data, we need to capture a lot of information in graphical representation mode. So let's think of a quick topic. Unfortunately, this is not an interactive session. Otherwise, I would have opened up the lines and asked you questions. We cannot do that now. So let me think of a topic which is pretty relevant right now, and that would be probably demonetization. Okay, so we are going to prepare a presentation on demonetization. So how do we go about it? How do we do that? I will quickly show it to you. All right, let's go. So here is my title slide. Demonetization. I want to add a subtopic, and the subtopic is transforming India into a digital world. Now this is my main topic, this is my main header. So I want to make it bold. I can say Control B, or I can click here. So I can either click here or I can say Control B. I want to increase the font size. So right now it's at 40. I want to make it 60. Okay. This one I want it in one line. How do I do that? I need to reduce the font size. So I make it 36. Okay. I don't want to add a subtitle here. I will remove this particular logo. Now if you realize, I am not able to remove it because I have added that on the master slide. So I need to remove it from master. So I go to slide master and I remove it here. So I go back to view and I go to normal view. Now it is gone. Now if you see the alignment is, yes, it's in center. You see this green dot, it's coming right on this line, which means it's in center, but it's way too up. So I want to bring it absolutely in center. Okay. So this is my title slide. Now when I go to the slideshow mode, it's looking very pale and very dull. I want to change the background. So I right click on anywhere here, but don't right click on the text. Outside this box, right click anywhere and say format background, the last one. When you click on format background, it will ask you a solid fill, means a single color. You can pick any color. So let's pick one particular color. So this is our color. You can also choose a gradient fill. Gradient means combination of two colors. So I click on gradient fill. Now these are preset colors. Okay, the system has created these presets. What I want is, I want a different design. Direction, it says, so these are direction of the color. Right now what you see is, this is dark blue here, this is light blue here. I want to change that. So I go to gradient fill and I want to change it left to right. Okay. I also want to change the color. So I change the color. Okay, it's pretty simple. Now I need to choose, do I want this color only on the title slide? If I want it on title slide, it will say apply to all, but I don't want to do that. I just want to close it so that this particular background is applicable only to the title slide. Okay. So now I want to start creating my entire presentation. The rule of presentation is, the first slide will always be the title slide. The second slide should be an index slide. Index means what to expect in the next forthcoming slides of the presentation, so that your audience is aware what you're going to talk about. All right. So how do we do that? Come to the pane window, the preview pane window, click here and say enter. The moment you say enter, it will ask you to create a title. Remember, every slide needs to have a title. But I can either add a title here which says index, but I don't want to use this template. I want to create my own design, so I will remove this as well. So how do you remove? just click on the box and say delete. I want to create my own style of presentation. If you want to be different when you are presenting, please try as much as possible to have your own style. If you pick templates and designs which is available pre-built or inbuilt in PowerPoint, everybody is going to use it. So how are you different? So obviously you want to have your own identity, you want to make it different. Now if the title of or the header of a slide you pick a particular design, you are supposed to use the same header design for the remaining slides. If you want to change the design, you can use another presentation, but the point is it should be consistent, it should be standard. Alright. So let's quickly create a header here. My header is going to be index. So I go to insert, then I go to shapes because I'm inserting a shape. I select this particular rectangle with rounded corners and I'm bringing in till exactly the center line. This is going to be my alignment. Okay. Now how do I write a text inside it? Lot of people again say insert text box and they type it here. Let's quickly type something and then they move it inside the box. You don't have to do that. You can directly double click, sorry, do not double click, double click on here. You can change the entire design, but we don't want to change the design. So click here and say F2. The moment you say F2, the straight line will vanish and it will come as a dotted line. So let me zoom it, you will realize. So I click here and I say F2. I want to change the background color. So how do I change? Right click, format shape, solid fill. I can change whatever, I can choose whatever color I want. So say I want a sky blue color. I don't want this line. So again right click, format shape, line or line color, say no line. Close. Okay. Now I want to type. The moment I say F2, you will see the design how it changes. See, it changes. F2 and I say index. Index basically means what am I going to cover. Right, so let's quickly go to slideshow mode and see how it's looking. The text is not even visible. So let's change the color of the text. So I go to home and I change the color. I want to make it black, but I also want to make it bold. I want to increase the size from 18 to 28. Okay. So now this is my slide where I am making mentioning the header. Now I need to insert text. So how do I insert text? I go to insert, text box. Now I am writing the content here. Your index will always be in bullet point form or number format. Okay. So what are we going to learn in terms of demonetization? Say we are going to, it will always start with introduction. Reason for demonetization, benefits, what are the benefits of demonetization, disadvantages of demonetization, digital payments, resources for digital payments, advantages of digital payments. That's it. So I don't want to add much. So I have entered my text. If I go to slideshow mode, the text is too small. How do I increase the size? Again, I select the box. I go to the font size box and I say I'm making it 32. Now it's difficult for me to count how many are there. So either I can put a bullet mark. So this is your home. You can put a bullet mark. You can pick whichever design you want, or you can also select numbering system. Okay, so let's pick numbers. So this is my index slide. Introduction, reason for demonetization, benefits of demonetization, disadvantages of demonetization, digital payments, resources, advantages. Resources for digital payments, advantages of digital payments. Okay. So I'm going to now, if you have to pay attention to the alignment, the box line where you have, that should be similar to this particular line. So I need to bring it a little more this side. Okay. How do I check? I can use the guide, move it here. So both are starting at the same point. You see this? A lot of people pay attention to these minute details. So let me bring back to 0, 0. All right. So this is my title slide. Next, what do? I click here and I say enter. Now I'm going to write the introduction because that is my slide. I will talk about introduction. Now here again I need to insert shapes. Again I need to write the title, but the problem is my color may not be uniform, my font may not be uniform, my alignment may not be uniform, but I want to have a uniform style. So what do? I go to slide number 2, copy this particular header, slide number 3 and paste it. The moment I paste it, what is happening here? The index box is not moving at all because the alignment is absolutely perfect between 2 and 3. There is no change at all. Now I will change the content here. So I am writing introduction. Even if I am changing the text, the box style or the box alignment or aspect ratio, the length and breadth should not change. Now I want to write my introduction. So again I say insert text box. Now what introduction I am going to talk about? Introduction about demonetization, transforming India into a digital world. So let's go back again. Insert text box. So I want to quickly write an introduction. Now if you realize the font size is way too much, so I will reduce the font size, but right now I am not reducing because it needs to be clearly visible to all of you. I hope this is visible. So even though it's 2 different words, I can also use that one word. So PowerPoint can also identify your spelling errors. Okay. The font size, actually it's still very big, so I should be reducing this a little more. India has been the most resilient economy in the world since last 2 decades. Even though the world economy has faced series of downturns due to various reasons like subprime crisis, global crude oil price fall, economic recession, India has India has, however, stayed insulated. The reason for this phenomena is India's strong roots and presence of multiple sectors, and mainly consumption. Next, as we step into a new era of technology and advancement, we need to look beyond the conventional method of doing business and running our economy. Okay, so this is my entire introduction. So what do I mean by this? Now, when you're doing a presentation, if you have too much of words, too many text on your slide, people will not be interested to watch it anymore or pay attention. Your presentation is only guiding you what to speak. The presentation, the content is only 40%, 60% is you, the presenter is 60%, the presentation is only 40% in any presentation. Here we are talking about demonetization. I spoke about how the economy is changing and we need to look beyond the conventional method. So let's add a quick picture which basically denotes what change we are talking about, transformation we are talking about. So let's go to google.com and look for some interesting image. Now, how do you search for interesting image? Go to google.com images. Here I want to talk about how currency is getting replaced. So I'm first looking for the currency. Okay. Now, this is the 1,000 rupees note which has been banned. It's no longer in use. So I will use it now because this is what we are not using. So right click, copy image, come back to your presentation. I'm inserting a new slide and I say Control V. So I got this. But the problem is I do not have a title. So I will copy paste. So I say demonetization. This is my slide. So this is a 1,000 rupees note we have. Now I want to replace that with a 2,000 rupees note. So here what we have, a 2,000 rupees note. So I'm looking for an image which looks better. So let me take this. Now if you look at this particular image, there are some watermarks, so I will not use this. All right. Okay, here we go. Again, right click, copy image and paste. Now this is a classic example of how to manage your images. Now if you look at this particular image, the sizes are different. The rule of the presentation is the size should be same. So let me change the size. Now if you change the size, if you drag it from this side, the design is not going to be perfect. If you slide from the bottom also, it's not going to be perfect. That's why you should slide it or drag it from the corner. When you're doing it from the corner, the entire image will get elongated in perfect aspect ratio. Okay. So what is happening here? Let's go to slideshow mode. I have 1,000 rupees note and I have 2,000. This is basically not in use anymore, but this is what is in use. So I want to depict or I want to show that. Now what do? I can use a cross mark and say this is no longer used. So I go to insert, shapes, and you will see a cross mark here, an into mark here. There should be some option. If it's not available, we can always rely on some Google images, right? So see equation shapes. So I'm selecting this and I'm adding it here. Now if I'm putting a cross mark, ideally it should be red in color, right? How do I change? Just select that particular image, right click, format shape, solid fill. Right now it is blue, I will make it red. Got it? Now I want to add a tick mark, but I can't find any tick mark in my shape list. So what can I do? I can go to google.com, I can search for a tick mark. You see this? There's so many of them. You are getting a green one also. Okay. So let's take this one. Right click, copy image, go back to your PowerPoint and paste. Now this is not getting pasted. Something is wrong. So I will look for another design. Let's try this. Copy and paste. Even this is not working. So sometimes the images don't get copied because they have copyright. All right. Okay, so this is selected. Now if you see the cross mark is small, the tick mark is big, so I will reduce the size and I will try to match it pretty much the same size. Now if I go to the slideshow mode, what is happening now? Everything is coming together, but how I want it? I want the 5,000 rupees note to come first. Then it will show the into mark. We are not using it. Then what are we using it? We are using the 2,000 mark. So I want to come one by one. So if I go to the previous slide, next one, everything is coming together. It's not helping me. So what do I do now? I do custom animation. So I go to animation. Okay. And I select which block I want first. So I select this particular image. I can basically decide which one should come first. That's definitely not an issue. We can pick and choose and customize. So I click on custom animation. Now what I have selected now is a 1,000 rupees note, right? So I click on add effect, which is here. How the entrance should be appear. Then I want the cross mark. I click on the cross mark. The entrance should be like a box. Third one I want is a 2000 rupees note. The entrance should be appear. You can choose whatever you want, and the tick mark should be a checkered box. That's it, I'm done. So I go to the slideshow mode, click number 1, 1000 rupees note, then the cross mark, then again the 2000 rupees note and the tick mark. So basically I am saying that 1000 rupees note is no longer valid. I can use only 2000 rupees note. Okay. So when I go back to the edit mode, I will have my entire pane here where I can do custom animation. So I don't need it anymore, but the function will still be valid even if I have removed that pane. Clear? Now going to the next slide, here I want to, now I haven't added too much of information here. I'm only going to talk about it. Alright. Here I want to put in some information, but what information? It says introduction, reason for demonetization. So this is my just an index. I may not have to follow the same pattern, but I'm just trying to show you how you can use PowerPoint and how you can use screenshots. Now I'll tell you how to use a screenshot. Say for example, you want to teach someone how to use say an app, a Paytm app. Okay, so I say Paytm app. Now I need screenshots, I need the screens, right? So I'll go here. So this is my Paytm logo, but I also want to tell them how the Paytm screen looks like. So I click on Paytm. So this is my account. Okay. So I want to tell them how it looks like. Now how do you take a screenshot when you are preparing a PowerPoint? So open whichever site you want, whichever image you want, and you need to use the keyboard. In your keyboard, on the top side, I would need little help from the camera person here. So you have all the function keys here, right? On the function keys, close to the numpad, you will find something called a print screen. So you can either, whatever you see on your screen, let's have the screen please. So I want to take a screenshot of this particular website, Paytm. Alright, so what do? I open this and I can click, I can press print screen. This is print screen on your keyboard. Alright, you can also do alt print screen. Alt is here. When you do alt print screen and when you do just print screen, there is a difference. I will quickly show you what that is. Okay, so I want to do just print screen on this particular image and I want to paste that on the presentation. Now when I'm pasting it on the presentation, you will notice all my taskbar items also got selected. I don't want anybody to see what do I have on my taskbar, what is the time, because it's visible here. I don't want to do that. That's why we should always say alt print screen. When you say alt print screen and paste, the taskbar will no longer be visible. Clear? But there is still a problem. If you see here, whatever Chrome tabs I have opened, that is visible on top, right? Let me move it here. Okay. You see all the Chrome tabs. I don't want to show this to anyone. So now I need to crop the image. It's completely taking over my slide. So I need to crop the image, basically means I need to cut from the corners, sides and top and bottom. How do I do that? You can double click on this image. The moment you double click, you will have the format button open. Here you will have the crop button. So click on crop and you can just crop the image. So I want only this to be visible till here. From the sides, it's perfectly fine. Now how did I crop? I will quickly show you again. So this is my entire image, right? Let me zoom it a bit. So double click, the moment you double click, you will get the format active. You click here, crop. The moment you click here, you will have these corners getting highlighted. See, it's gone. The moment I click on crop, just pay attention, this is getting highlighted. Now you can crop from here. I'm cropping till here. Cropping means I'm just cutting it. Okay. Now I need to align it perfectly. So I'm just dragging it from the corner. If you observed, I'm dragging it from the corner. That's it. And I got my screenshot. If I want, I can add a line around the screenshot. I say right click, format picture, line. Right now it says no line. I can just say solid line. I can pick whatever color I want. So I'm choosing black. I can also choose what should be the size or the width of the line. Right now it's 0.75. I want to make it 3. You see this? 3. If I want, I can add a shadow effect. Format picture, I say shadow. So there is a slight shadow here. Got it? So that's about in terms of how to get a screenshot. If you're using a particular screen, if you're preparing a document, you can use screenshots. There are tons of things that you can do. All right. So we'll take a quick break now, 15 minutes. We'll come back at 3 o'clock and I'm going to continue with PowerPoint because PowerPoint is quite extensive. The idea is to give you information to help you understand how to use it and how best you can make use of this particular tool to make a perfect presentation. All right. So take a break, come back, and please use the YouTube link to post whatever questions you have. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Welcome back everyone. So we had been speaking about MS PowerPoint as part of our foundation course, semester 2, unit 4. So let's have a quick look as to what we have covered. So pretty much I spoke about how to get a particular screenshot into your image. Now there is one aspect that I spoke about is grouping of image, right? Say for example, I have this particular image and I'm just changing the size and I'm keeping it here. Or probably there is a need for grouping of an image. So let me open Google. Say for example, I want to show an ID card with a person's face inside. Now the face of the person is in a different file. The ID card template is on a different file. Okay. Say for example, this particular image. Okay. Now here, if you observe, there is a line. You see this line, slanted line. That means it's a watermark image. If you have anything which is a watermark image, please do not use that image. Say for example, this one, this is also watermarked. Any image which is watermarked cannot be used without the permission of the person. So please be very sure you are not using it. Okay. Let me look for an ID card template. I'm doing this just to tell you how to group an image. Okay. Say for example, I have this particular ID card, so I say copy and I say paste. Okay, let me remove this. Now I want to have a different picture of another person. I don't want this. So what can I do? I can take a picture and put it here. Say I want this particular picture. Okay, so copy, paste, but I want only the picture, not the entire card. So I need to crop it. So double click, crop, and now I am cropping the image because I only want the face of the person, just the picture of the person. All right. Now I will use that picture instead of the picture of the lady that you see on the left on the ID card. Now let's compare the size. The size is not okay, so I want to reduce it. Okay, so I've used his picture instead of the lady's picture. Now what happens if I'm moving this particular ID card, the picture is not moving, right? I want the picture also to move along with the ID card in case if I'm moving. So what do? I select the picture, then press shift on your keyboard, and I select the ID card. Now both are selected. Now what do? I right click, I go to group and say group it. Now when I group it, these two separate images will become part of one block of image. So if I am moving, everything will move. If I am changing the size will change in the same proportion. So when you are designing something, if you are using images, you got to be very sure that the sizing is perfect. It's not getting realigned. Okay. So that is how we use a grouping function. Okay. Now if I want to show certain graphs here, I can use Excel to insert a graph. Say for example, I want to put across certain numbers. Okay. So I am saying market share. So my entire graph will talk about market share. Here I will talk about the brand. Here I will talk about the percentage. So say I am talking about Paytm, MobiKwik, Orange Pay, Citrus Pay. I'll just add one more, SBI Wallet. My percentage, I'm just adding a random percentage, it need not be accurate. This is only for learning purpose. I want to ensure that the total is perfect. $11, $5, or say make it 6. This is 4, which means my total is perfect. Now I can use this particular data to make a graph. I can either have a bar diagram, so I select this data, I go to insert, I say for example I want to have a column diagram. Okay. So if I have column diagram, now I want this to move to the bottom of the sheet. Let me reduce this a bit. I don't need the legend, so let me remove the line because I don't really need it. I don't need this either. I just want to add labels. What exactly is a percentage? When I talk about Excel training, I will explain this in detail. I want to change the color of the floor, okay? And I also want to give it a different color. So the first one is green. The second one, I want to make it yellow. The third one, I want to make it orange. And the last one, I cannot have it green, I need to change the color. So I'll keep it white. So this is my title. I want to reduce the font size of the title. So let me make it 14. And I want to bring it a little closer. Okay. Now if you see the names, all the names are in one line except for Orange Pay. I want it to be aligned correctly. So let me extend this a bit from both sides. Now it's coming in one line, right? Okay. Now what do I want? I want to select Control C for copy, or you can also use the mouse right click, Control C, or right click copy. Now when I come here and paste it, I can do a direct paste. When I do a direct paste, it's not going to look very clean. Okay, this is a very useful tip that I am going to give you right now. If I am doing direct Control V or paste, it's not going to look very clean. There's so much of blank space here. That's why and secondly, if you double click here, it will automatically open the edit format. You should not allow your audience to edit your data, especially the graphs. So what do? We do not paste it directly. We paste it as paste special. So you have paste here on top corner left, say paste special. Now it will give you a lot of options. So I want to paste it as a enhanced meta file, picture enhanced meta file. When I say OK, only that particular area will get selected and I can extend it. Now still there is a lot of empty space on the corners, so I can crop out that particular area. Okay, let's go to slideshow mode and see how it looks. Now it's still not looking okay because it doesn't have a line, so I right click, format picture, solid line. I want to give it a black line, or I want to also give it a shadow effect. So now it has a shadow effect. Okay, if I want a different style of graph, I go back to Excel. I am saying change chart style. I want to make it a pie diagram. Okay. So here so again I select. Now here it's not visible. This 55% belongs to which company? So I need to add a legend. Okay. So I click here, I say layout, legend, and I can select where I want it. So I am saying show it in the bottom, but it's way too much in the bottom, so let me bring it up a little bit. Now it says green means Paytm, yellow means MobiKwik. So I select, I come back to Excel, again Control V, no, we will do space special. I will choose enhanced meta file. Again, I already have a line, but this line, this particular line diagram, the line design should look similar. So if I have, and it cannot overlap, right? So I want to change it, I want to make it look similar. So I will crop the default line which the graph has picked up. So let me get rid of this. I can just say, just select this and say format copier and click here. Automatically it will pick the same design. So now let's look at it. You see this? I can either show one under another, or now if I do this, I need to ensure the size are equal. See, the size is not equal, so I need to make it uniform. Now in terms of the vertical alignment, it's fine, but horizontally is it fine? No, there is a difference. So I make it the same dimension. When you make everything uniform, that's a sign of a perfect presentation. That's about it. So I'm basically using a particular graph which I made on Excel, and I'm using that on a PowerPoint. See, I'm using it on a PowerPoint which I actually created in Excel. Now if I double click also, nothing will happen because it's an image. It will not show the source data. Clear? Now I want to add a text next to it, so I can select both, move it to the left, and I can add a text as a description. I can copy paste and I can say this is description 2. Got it? So I hope this was helpful. So let's look at what more we are going to talk about. So editing functions, smart add and hyperlink I will tell you later once we add more and more slides. Image I have just shown you. I have just shown you a screenshot and formatting of the image. Grouping I have told you. Header, footer, alignment a bit I have told you. Header, footer, basically if I have a slide like this, let me go back to my presentation that I created. So I can say insert. Now here insert, I can add a slide number. You see this? So when I say slide number, I can add either a date and time, or I can add just a slide number. I can decide where it should be. I can click on footer, okay, and I say apply to all. The moment you say that, you see it will show up here. And I also showed footer. If I get rid of this, see there is a footer. So I'm just adding a footer here. This is for training purpose only. When I go to the slideshow mode, the footer will show up here. And it also shows the slide number. You don't have to keep on changing. So now it says 4, 3, 2, all right. But the footer is not showing everywhere else. So I need to ensure the footer is shown everywhere. So I go to insert. Let me get rid of this again. Header and footer. Insert, header and footer. So now I want the footer to be visible. So I can type what footer I want. This is for training purpose only. And I am saying apply to all. Now when I go to the previous slide, let me go to the slideshow mode. When I say apply to all, it will apply to all the slides, and if you pay attention, the page number keeps changing. Basically the slide number will keep on changing. I can also select what kind of a slide number do I want. Okay, so there are a lot of formatting options. So I can go to slide number, okay, and add the page number here or the slide number. Clear? So I hope this was helpful in terms of how to add an image and how to use certain office tools from a different source on your file. Okay, now let's look at what next we are going to talk about. So header footer alignment is done, the grouping of object is done. Okay, now I'll tell you about hyperlink, how to create hyperlink. Say for example, this is my entire file. Okay, now I am talking, this is your index, I am just giving an example. Okay, say for example on the second slide, this is my title slide, this is technically my second slide but practically my first slide. I want to create a hyperlink. Why will I create a hyperlink? Because when I am clicking on point number 2, it should directly take me to page number or slide number 4. How do I do that? It's fairly simple. I can underline the entire text, right click and say hyperlink. The moment I say hyperlink, I will come across this particular dialog box. Here I need to select, when I click on the hyperlink, where it should take the viewer to. So it says existing file or web page, place in this document or create new document, or it should be an email address. So we are basically saying that when a person is clicking on reason for demonetization, it should take them to a place in the same document, which is slide number say 4. Okay, so let me select all this, right click, hyperlink, place in this document. Alright, now here I need to decide where I want the person to go. So you see all these slide titles, I haven't put a slide title by default, that's why it's not showing up. So I say slide number 5 and I say OK. So automatically it will get underlined. If I go to the slideshow mode, if I click here, it will take me to slide number 5 directly. Now I want to go back. How do I go back? I can create an image here or add a particular box and type back. Back means it will take me back to index page, but obviously I need to hyperlink this as well. So right click, hyperlink, and I want to go to slide number 2, which is in this document, and I say OK. See, if I click on, the moment I bring it here, I will get the hand sign, back and forth I can do by usage of hyperlinks. I hope this was helpful. So your hyperlink will be very, very helpful when you are creating a very big file, a very big presentation, and you want your audience to jump to a particular slide from an index page or somewhere else. This is very helpful because within the document you can move from one place to another by clicking on a particular hyperlink that you have just created. Alright. So if you have to add more images, if you have to add more objects, you can do that. Now let me show you something. I'm creating a new slide here. Now let me add a title. The reason I would add a title, because PowerPoint is giving me the function to add a title. So when I'm adding a title, the title is, say for example, practical knowledge. Okay. If I have to create a hyperlink now you will see the slide name. I say hyperlink, you see practical knowledge, it shows up. The reason it's showing up because I have decided to use the PowerPoint function to create the title. If I create the title on my own, say for example I'm using this, now it will no longer give me the option to find the name of that particular slide. Hyperlink, it just says slide 6. You got the point? So when you are using the tool or the function provided by PowerPoint, it allows you more flexibility, it allows more usability in terms of your PowerPoint slides. So add media, this part I will cover a little later. Okay, hyperlink I have shown you. Smart art, now this is pretty important, so let's talk about the smart art now. So let me add the title here. Now how to use smart art? We will go to insert and you see the smart art. Now when you click on smart art, this is all, means all the designs are showing up. You can pick whatever you want in terms of a list design, in terms of a process design. Process means a step-by-step method. Cycle, for example, I want to create a cycle, or hierarchy, relationship, matrix, pyramid. Say for example I want to create a pyramid, or let me create a process. So I will pick a desired design here and I will say OK. Alright. Now I can add a text here. So let me add a text. I am talking about a process for using Paytm. The first one is download. I can either go to App Store or Play Store. App Store for iOS, Play Store for Android. Second one is sign up. I can either sign up from mobile number or email ID. Third one is recharge. From bank account, from mobile wallet. So I basically already have the design inbuilt. Okay. Now I want to design it furthermore because I'm not really liking this particular color. I can just double click here, right click, and I can change the color. So first one I want it as a different color and I want to give it a shadow style. Second, this one I want a different color altogether. Third, I am changing the color again. Okay, I also want to change the font color, so I select all three and I can change it to black. Now point to be noted is I want to change the size, so I can just expand like this directly. I want to move it to a little this side. Now when I am moving it, I need to ensure all the three blocks are of same size. Okay, this one is little bigger. It's not getting really aligned properly, so let me do that again. Okay, I'm not able to do that right now in this keyboard. Oops. Okay, so when I go to the slideshow mode, I will get the design by default. Okay, so basically Smart Art will allow me to create whatever design I want. Say for example, I want to create a Smart Art for a particular process which I just did. I want to do it for cycle. Okay, so I select this particular image and automatically it will pick up the arrow design. Your Smart Art will make your life very easy because it automatically picks up certain images, certain forms, certain designs where you don't have to manually do a lot. Because if you have to manually put the arrow, the alignment will always go for a toss. So that's why the Smart Art is extremely helpful. Alright. So we'll do another slide where we'll make use of the Smart Art objects, and I will tell you which one to be used when and how effectively you can use it. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll learn more about Smart Art. Alright. I'll see you soon. Welcome back everyone. So we were talking about the Smart Art objects, what can be used, how to use it. So right now we are looking at the usage of the cycle, right? So what comes first, what comes next, so the whole cycle part. So this is what we had added on the slide in terms of a Smart Art object. So let's add text here. I'm just adding something random, so it may not even convey an exact meaning. This is just for our understanding. Say for example, I'm talking about an IT product. So I have created a cycle which is browse, register, enroll, subscribe, buy. Now after buying, you can buy, browse again. Now I want to change the design of it, so I can click one at a time and change the color. So here I'm going to change, I want to put it into different colors. I don't need a line. I can directly go and select the next one. So I'm adding whatever colors I feel like. Okay, so there is a spelling mistake here, let me correct it. So I have given it different colors, but if you see this particular arrow size is not okay, so I want to move this a little bit, but it's not really working, right? So I need to realign the design itself. Okay, now I have added a shadow effect. So because I have added a shadow effect, see how nice it looks, right? I want to change the arrow style now. So all the arrow size will change at the same time. Right now the width is 0.75 points. I want to make it 2 points, and I want to change the color. I want to make it red. Okay. Now if I have to select this, so I change the color and the point for this one. So now this arrow is looking different because I have changed it only for that. Likewise, I can add another smart art option, insert smart art. Now I want to add something in terms of relationship, or say for example a pyramid, an organizational pyramid. Okay. So I have senior manager, assistant VP and VP. If I want to add another block, I can just say, how do I do that? So I just copied one block, copy and paste. So I can add another block for this entire pyramid. If I say Control V again, I am adding another block. It will automatically pick the design. So if I am adding a block here, automatically it will pick the design, and the font size will change automatically. That's the advantage of using a smart art. If I want to change the font size for all of them together, I can just select from here. I can make it say 24, and I want to change the color. I want to make it white. So what did we see? By default, if I say insert smart art pyramid, by default there were only 3 blocks. How did I add more blocks? I selected any one of these 3, Control C, Control V. Again V, V, V. I can add as many as I want. Now I can change the text as well. So I can just directly click, like you see, I can directly click anywhere and I can change the text. I hope this is understandable, right? If I want to change the color now for each of the block, I want to make the change in color in a say for example in a shade manner. So since this is the lowest, then I'll go one by one. I can pick the same color palette here. Third, fourth, fifth, and this is the last one. The last one, the font is not visible, so I will make it white. I want to change the font color of these two also because it's not visible. So see how I made the whole thing into different shades of the same color. I can give an effect on this particular whole design. Okay, so that's how I use Smart Art. So if I have to delete, if I have to remove a block, just select the block, that's it. Automatically it will redesign itself. You don't have to worry about changing the size and all that. You don't have to take that pain. Okay. Now how do I insert a media file? Say for example I want to add a particular video. So first I will change, I just wanted to change the title. So you can go to YouTube, look for a particular video, copy this link. You can download this particular application called free ViewTube video downloader and paste that link here. The moment you paste, it will automatically show what the video is all about, and it says download MP3 high quality, MP4 high quality. It just gives you different options. Okay. Now I want to download a video here, so I will say MP4 high quality. Okay, now it's already downloading. You see the progress, it's 100% and it's downloaded. You double click, it will get saved in My Documents. Okay, now I have this particular video with me. How do I insert that in PowerPoint? So go back to PowerPoint, insert movie or sound. This is for sound, this is for movie. So I click on movie and it's on My Document. So I found this and I say OK. Now it says, how do you want the movie to start in the slideshow? Automatically or when clicked? So I am saying when clicked. Now when you paste it, it will come as a black box. So don't worry about it. When you go to the slideshow, when I click, oops, it's not showing up right now. So when I click the mouse, automatically it will start showing the entire video. The same applies for the sound as well. So this is a video which I downloaded from YouTube. It shows how I downloaded it. So now the video is running. Okay. Let me show you another video so that it's easier for you to understand that it is actually a video. Let me look for a quick video on some wildlife. Okay, this is a very famous video of BBC Earth. So what do? I copy the link from YouTube. I go back to the application. I paste the link and I say download MP4 high quality 1080. It's showing progress. The moment it says 100%, double click, it will show you where the video is. So I am removing the PowerPoint video. I am just keeping this. Come back to your presentation, say insert, movie from file, and OK. It will again ask me how I want it to be shown. I am saying show automatically. Since it's on edit mode, it will come as a black window. So don't worry about it. Okay. When I go to the slideshow mode, I said when I go to the next slide, automatically the video should show. So let me go to the next slide. To the previous slide. When I'm going to the next slide, I have chosen it should start playing automatically. But sometimes what happens, when I'm talking to my audience, I don't want the video to be shown directly. So I want to talk a bit. So what I will do, I will click on the mouse or on the keyboard, only then the video should open up. Clear? Let's try doing the same with an audio file. It's pretty much the same. We say insert and sound. So here it will just come as a audio player. We do not have audio connection right now, so I cannot really play that. You won't be able to hear the sound, but that is how we do it. Now another important aspect of a presentation is, say for example, I'm giving a presentation on a particular project which I'm doing for my workplace. And this particular project, I'm basically trying to show them different data that I have collected over a period of time. So I have an Excel sheet and I have a Word document, I have a PDF file, I have different documents which is available, which I want to show as an embedded file on PowerPoint. So how to add an embedded file? Let me show you that. How to add a slide, how to add a file on a slide. So what you do, you say insert and say object. If I say object, it will give me various options, what kind of object I want to add. I am saying create from file because I want to add the file directly. So click on browse and select wherever your file is located. Say for example, my file is located in a particular folder which I have saved for myself. Okay. Say for example, this is my slide and I say OK. When I say OK, I have the option that do I want to display that as an icon. So I'm saying yes, and the icon is Adobe Acrobat document. Now I don't like this, so I want to change it. Now if I want to change it, I have only one option, so I have to take it. I can add, right now it comes as an Adobe Acrobat document, but the name of the document is not there, it's just type of document. And I can add a name, user manual, and I say OK, and then I say OK again. The moment I say OK, it will automatically save that particular PDF file on the slide. You see this? Now I want to increase the visibility and I want to just add a little text. User documents for tools. I can add an arrow if I want. How do I add an arrow? Basically I go to insert, shapes, and you have an arrow here. I want to change the style of the arrow. I want to increase the width. Okay. Now the point to be noted is, when I go to the slideshow mode, I cannot open this file. I need to go to edit mode, double click, and the file will open. So now you see, obviously it will take some time for the file to open, so it has opened up here. Okay. So whatever kind of file I want to add, say for example I want to delete this, I want to add an Excel sheet. So insert, object, create from files, browse. I will go to the folder where my document is. And I say OK. I want to display that as an icon. Now I have a lot of options. of different icons. Say for example, I change this. I am changing the name of the file. I am saying OK. Now it will get displayed as an icon. When I go to slideshow mode, it says student data. This is in a slide mode, this is just an image. If I click, it will go to the next slide. I need to come to go back to edit mode. If I double click, I will have the Excel sheet open up. It's that easy. So basically what happens is I can add another file inside a PowerPoint. There are two things that I'm doing here. I'm fetching information from a Word document or an Excel in terms of a graph, in terms of text, but I'm also putting a file into a PowerPoint file. Now this facility is not available in some of the other tools. Like if I'm using a Word document, so let me open a Word document, insert, I can't add a PowerPoint inside. So I can add an object, but it doesn't really work. Okay, so it's much more complex, it's not user friendly. But when I talk about PowerPoint, I can add another file and I can make it work. It's that simple. Okay. Now let's look at creation of tables. Now this is a very useful tool. So I go to insert, I go to tables, I can select number of rows and columns. Now wherever I am selecting, if you see, automatically the design is picking up here. Let me get rid of this. Now PowerPoint is so smart, the first entire line automatically it picks up a dark shade because that is going to be the title. Then the subsequent data is coming in two different shades. Isn't that amazing? Because you don't have to sit and do coloring again. You can change the shading to a green by picking any of the designs here. See, I can change the color. Automatically it will pick the top one as a darker shade and the next one as an alternative shade. I will show you one more thing. Say for example, I am saying serial number, name, age, location, and I don't want this particular row. So I can just select all and I can say backspace, or I can do right click and I can say delete columns. Now I want to align it, so I select all this and make it central. But the spacing of on top and bottom is not accurate. It should always be accurate. It should be central. So what do? I select all this, I right click and I say format shape. In format shape, I have the option of text box. In text box, I can select how I want. Now this is middle centered. So I should always select middle centered. Okay. Now I am adding an information. So I am just adding some random information here. Okay. this should be capital obviously. Okay. Now the problem is there is so much of space here. So what do? I select this. If I double click, automatically it will pick the right alignment. Now all these are left indent. Okay. So I want to make it center indent. Secondly, now the point to be noted. If you look at the shading, this is little darker, light, darker, lighter, darker. If I remove a particular line, if I remove a particular row, automatically the color will automatically shift, which means PowerPoint will retain the dark and the light shade. That is how it works. But this will not change. You need to change this manually. Now I want to keep this right in the center. It's right in the center, but the texts are right on top. So when I put it on slideshow mode, there is so much of space here. What do? I can make it again. I select everything, right click, format shape, text box, and how I want the alignment, text direction, sorry, vertical alignment, I say middle centered. I also want to increase the font size to say 28. If I increase the font size of the content, my header has to look bigger. So there you go. To this entire table also, I can give it a little effect. 3D format. Now 3D format is not, that option is not available here. So see, there is a little shadow in the corner. Okay. So table creation is very helpful in terms of PowerPoint, because PowerPoint allows you to retain certain designs. Here I have chosen this particular shade of color. I can still change it. Just double click. I can change even after adding the data. See, there are so many options. Now here the lines are also getting drawn automatically. Earlier one, you didn't have that option. The earlier design, the lines were not illuminated, right? So whatever color I want, I can pick it up. It's that simple. Or I can also draw a table. I can erase a particular, so eraser works when I'm drawing a table. So let's take a quick look at that. Insert table, I am saying draw a table. Okay. Now how my line should look like, I can pretty much whatever color I want, I can pick it up. I can pick the width that I want, 1, 2. So I'm just basically drawing it myself. If I want to erase something, see, I'm only erasing this part, or I'm erasing this part. So I can erase a particular part of the table which I'm drawing on my own. Okay. Now here I also have something called a quick style. I can add the text in whichever style I want, which is there by default. Say for example, I am adding a text. With a particular style. So I click on quick style. So wherever I browse, it picks up that particular design. So it's pretty user friendly, pretty helpful that way. All right. So that's about it for today. We pretty much finished a lot of information if we have to look at the learning path. Custom animation, I'm going to show this to you tomorrow, because custom animation will allow you to select the sequence, it will allow you to select the design aspect. There is an important aspect in terms of bring it front and put it back, in terms of different layers of images, that I will show you tomorrow. Those who are working on projects in their second semester or fourth semester or whichever year you are in, your presentation can actually make it absolutely wonderful for you. When you are going in front of an audience, if people are interested, they looking at your presentation, obviously you will definitely score more points. I have seen 70% of the presentations which is not really done in a good manner. I don't really find a lot of consistencies and standardization across all the slides. But trust me, you can find tons of templates online, you can find tons of backgrounds online, you can do so much in terms of a presentation. I have seen a person who actually made a marketing presentation about a particular product. Instead of using video, he animated the entire presentation in such a way it looked like it's like a moving object which he prepared. So options are plenty, but you will not learn it overnight. You need to keep on practicing, you need to keep on exploring. Nothing is going to go wrong, the system is not going to crash. If you did not understand something, just say Control Z to undo and redo it. Just open a file and keep practicing as much as possible. Alright? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll continue with PowerPoint in the first half, and then I will get started with Excel, which is going to be very complex, because Excel is like an ocean within itself, but you only need to learn the basics and the intermediate aspect. I don't want to teach you in terms of I will teach you pivot tables, but you don't really have to know how to create a VLOOKUP or how to write macros. Just the basic functions will help, which is going to help you in terms of your academic career to your professional career. Alright, so I hope this was helpful. Whenever you get a chance, in case if you find this video on YouTube, whenever you can keep searching, you will find it, APSSDC. So whenever you find it, if you find this particular video, please post your questions. I will look at the question and I will come back with an answer for you on that same message board. Alright, you have a great day ahead. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.